Alright fuckers, it's time for our Halloween Q&A. So here's how it's gonna go. Since I have a lot of questions and some questions I may take a lot of time answering, I'm gonna split this video into separate parts of only 3 question asker per video. So if I didn't answer your question, it's gonna be on another separate video. And I'm gonna make sure to put your name in the description box down below, just so you'll know the video I've answered your question. And that's pretty much it. So we got some pretty good to decent questions here. Let's get started. The first question comes from MTOYT, and he asked, what's your favorite year for the WWE? My favorite year for me would have to be 1998. 98 was when the Attitude Era really started with the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin and his legendary feud with Vince McMahon, which back then was must-see television. Like, after Austin stunned Vince McMahon, you were really anticipated to know what was going to happen next. And it was just entertaining to watch Vince McMahon trying to screw Austin out of the title, and Austin getting one up on Vince McMahon. Like, even when Austin was screwed out of the title, it just made it more interesting for you to see Austin chasing the belt. And it wasn't just that feud that made 98 a great year. You also had the awesome D-Generation X and Nation of Domination feud. And this was when Shawn Michaels had taken time off throughout the entire Attitude Era due to his back injury after WrestleMania 14. So basically you were only left with Helmsley aka Triple H and Chyna to continue on with D-Generation X, with the New Age Outlaws and Sean Waltman, who I believe was fired from WCW when he was 6-Pac. And this is when Sean Waltman became X-Pac, who we all love to hate. And D-Generation X was just doing a lot of really cool shit that year, like invading WCW, which as a kid I would have liked to have seen DX clash with the NWO on Nitro, because I thought that would have been epic and would have done huge numbers. But for some reason, Eric Bischoff wouldn't let them into the building. But it is what it is, so, yeah. But yeah, you even had that one segment when they were mocking the Nation of Domination, which I actually found pretty funny back then. Nowadays, a segment like this wouldn't get away in today's PC era, especially the blackface shit with X-Pac. And this is coming from a black guy himself, so yeah. I even remembered DX having a lot of hot chicks showing off their tits in the crowd, which I thought was pretty awesome. And this is why I call the late 90s to the early 2000s to being the coolest time for wrestling, because it really was. I mean, for God's sake, you had hot chicks back then. What hot chicks do you see nowadays? Nowhere to be found. Nowadays, you only have the virgin nerds hijacking shows, which is pretty sad. Let's see. Oh yeah, you also had The Rock on the rise to becoming a star that year. And when he turned heel and joined the corporation at Survivor Series 98, it was just epic. You even had that awesome Undertaker and Kane feud. You had a very good undercard from guys like D'Lo Brown, Ken Shamrock, and Val Venus. WrestleMania 14 was a great show. The whole Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin segment leading up to WrestleMania 14 was epic. And that segment was what I thought was the turning point for the WWF to keep up with WCW in the ratings. And I can go on, dude, like, 98 was probably the most consistent year of the Attitude Era in terms of the writing. And it wasn't just a good year for the WWF, but also WCW and ECW. And in my opinion, 97 and 98 are the best years for wrestling as a whole. 97 is probably my second favorite year, my third being the year 2000, then 2002, 1999, and I can go on. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. Okay, for your second question, will you bring back some of your deleted videos? I know another commenter named Angel Correl asked me the same thing, and just to answer both your questions, I deleted those videos mainly because I didn't like looking back at them, as I thought they were kind of cringeworthy. I just thought those videos didn't hold up, and I thought I could have done a hell of a lot better. Just because I was still new on YouTube and was trying to get used to talking about things on here. Though I will say I'm trying to improve even now, of course. A few people have told me that they enjoyed my older videos, but for me, looking back at them, I just felt like I could have done a hell of a lot better. Will I re-upload those videos? No. But I can try and give you a much more updated version of them, if I feel like it. So there you go. But thanks for the questions. So the next question we have here is from D-Killa. And he asked me, who would win in a fight, Blade or Spawn? Easy, Spawn. Dude, Spawn wouldn't even need to put any effort against Blade. As a matter of fact, you'll need a lot more than Blade to go up against someone who is essentially a walking no limits fallacy. I mean, like, if you've read the Spawn comics, this guy's been through hell back several times. He visits alternate dimensions. He has defeated one of the most powerful demons to rule hell, who is his own creator for fuck's sake, and he doesn't even obey the laws of physics. Plus, he can even change his mass and density at will. So that right there, my friend, is not even a fair match. They're both cool characters, but let's be honest, Spawn would mop the floor with Blade. Your other question, what was your first gaming console? The Sega Genesis. Mainly because I wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog so badly. And your third question, what happened to Spawn's popularity since the 90s? Well, I think Spawn's popularity was mainly driven by Todd McFarlane and Image's popularity. Todd McFarlane's popularity faded as he put less work into the comics. And I'd say his credibility was also damaged by his collection of balls and the ongoing fiasco with Gaiman. Like, Image's popularity decreased because they were very closely linked to the speculators' boom and the subsequent bust of the 90s. This is also the stigmata of being an artist company while everyone else was beginning to really focus on writing. So with the creator and company going off the boil, Spawn faded into relative obscurity. And that's my reasoning, so there you go.